And we're live now because we started having a pretty. We kept getting sidetracked with all of our interesting ass conversations. This is the podcast. This is the podcast. Hey, save it for the
Uh,
podcast.
Save it for the podcast. But if we keep saving it for the podcast, we're never actually going to record the podcast.
So here we are hitting live. Anybody who decides to tune in and watch Ken and I have a conversation, appreciate it. That's a smart motherfucker right there. So yeah, it should be a good time. I know the first topic, literally we started 2 sentences in, like, hold on, let me hit that record. We started talking about the ethical boundaries of using AI to reconstitute, I wouldn't even say dead artists, I think. There are probably still living artists that could be represented. Maybe like bringing ABBA back from the 70s. They're not dead, but they're not playing no fucking Dancing Queen no more.
Well, I would say that if they're still alive, it's a slightly different argument. The techno-necromancy, for me, is a far deeper ethical quandary because it goes beyond just celebrity. Would you bring your grandmother back from the dead as an AI, given the option? Now, it violates all forms of grief counseling. And yet they think it's a good idea for us to be talking to our dead relatives in a chat box.
So, this begs the question, though, because, there's a difference between my grandma. You're not going to find enough public information to recreate, the identity and figure of my grandma. That's just not going to work. But taking, your example, Michael Jackson from earlier, yeah, he's all over the place. And when his work was released on the internet, there was no AI. That wasn't even a question, So it seems like that boundary is now retroactively being drawn,
Well, like the George Carlin estate had to sue to be able to get the George Carlin bot taken down. Right? It's like they didn't approve to have an AI pretending to be him to be able to comment about modern technology or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly they didn't want it happening. So how do we know that the artists themselves would want it happening?
Well, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Even seeing the artistic community and the creative community on my small corner of LinkedIn, fuck no, they don't want that. It's and rightfully so, because these people have worked super hard and put in so much time and effort to become good at their skill. And what's a robot going to come and take that away? One could argue that it's a lot harder to recreate somebody's exact art style and things like that, as opposed to listening to a recording and copying it. But I think the crux of the argument's pretty much the same. That shit's bullshit.
Well, yeah, but it's more than just bullshit, Brad, right? Like, can't remember the name of the company, but there is one out there trying to advertise that you can record, like, humorously, like, her records, hey, your mom. You can take voice samples of her, video samples, photos of her right now, and you could put it away like a life insurance policy. So when she does pass, bam, you've got a bot now in your phone. Your mom's with you, still giving you the same kind of advice, the same tonality, same mindset, based on the premise and the parameters that you programmed her at. So theoretically, does your mom ever truly die? And do you ever actually get to cope with the loss and become the man you need to be without your mom there?
No, you absolutely
That's what I'm getting
not.
at, right? That's the necromancy that we're discussing. Like, we're talking about anyone trying to do this with anybody. Like, loss is a part of life. You don't get born with the expectation of living forever. We're all going to die. So if we have this techno-necromancy saying, oh, we're going to live forever, then when the fuck do we actually get to value our lives?
Well, even beyond that, let's say, for example, my mom does pass. I do mourn. She will, obviously, but whatever. I go through the mourning and grieving process. I've done what Okay, cool. Now can I necro resurrect my mom? Fucking still no. Like, but that that whole grieving and it's been done and dealt with.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I would argue that if somebody isn't alive to consent to becoming a robot, then that's just it's just not okay.
Well, how's it
Like
any different than necrophilia?
it's not. It's
If
absolutely
you
not.
can't fuck it, you shouldn't be turning it into a robot either.
But even if you can fuck it, you probably shouldn't turn it into a robot. Oh man. No, and I mean, zooming out, let's because you're right. I'm not. I have no points to argue at all as far as the necromancy with loved ones and things like that. Um, zooming out at the argument of celebrities, and I'm not saying it's okay. I'll take devil's advocate here, I guess. If their work is already public, even somebody, let's say that their work is in the public domain now, should that be okay? Should we be able to recreate that person and that likeness and of that public figure because they're public?
No, because you're still putting words in their mouth. You're still getting to dictate essentially what they're going to end up saying. Right?
Okay.
Do you think George Carlin would be supportive
No.
of today's political atmosphere?
Okay, then
By any means?
No. So let me sharpen it for you then. Can I recreate a hologram of them performing their original work as recorded, not putting words in their mouth?
Again, well, my issue with that is you shouldn't be getting paid for the content because it's not your content.
Mm-hmm.
If the estate is insisting on it, as a consumer, I don't want to pay for the content because that just seems like shilling, right? Like straight up greed. Mm-hmm. So at some point, money's being exchanged hands. And I'm going to argue that, we keep using the word can't. And in reality, Brad, yes, everyone can do everything we're discussing.
We say can. We should.
I'm saying it'll be immoral and unethical.
Yeah.
Every time I say can't, it's because on a moral, ethical level, if you do it, I will literally treat you like you're the devil himself.
No, I mean I'll agree with that. We're using can't and should interchangeably, and at the end of the day they're not. But
yeah,
for use of our discussion, yeah, I get that.
Just preemptively, can't is a 4-letter word. We're not really using it under the purest definition of can't.
So let's say let's sharpen further. What if there's no money changing hands? It's a public display, and this will never fucking happen. But let's say that it's a free public display of the technology. Hey, look at our cool ass fucking hologram and music. Well, look what we can do. Here's a public forum where this technology is on display. You can come and see. I don't know. Pick an artist from 50 years ago, 60 years ago. But there's no money. It's free for whoever comes and wants to experience and enjoy. Is that okay?
Okay, let's hypotheticalize. What if we did a hologram of Bach himself, put him on a hologram piano, and have him start playing his greatest? If that was free to view in like the Metropolitan Museum, under the understanding that it's still art, could we justify that behavior?
I think we could, simply because his music is being played in the place in the public space already. And to that end, all we're doing is adding a visual component to the music. It does happen to be his likeness, okay, but at the end of the day, it's still accompanying the music for the art being displayed. That's the way I see that.
Well, yeah, but now we're expanding our ethics regarding AI and tech content into the ethical realm of the art world. Can we justify, say, the Mona Lisa and her price tag at the current moment? Or is it all just, you know, ways of people not having to pay their taxes? So they just buy
Oh,
very expensive art and put it on public display saying, oh, now that I've paid that couple of $1 billion for this little painting, why should I have to pay taxes on that billions of dollars?
oh no, that's it.
But that's what it'll evolve to. If as soon as we put
Yeah,
Bach on display at the Met, someone's going to put a price tag on it because we still live in that capitalist society.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think money is fucking garbage. But like this, my problem though, if if we take the concept of money and actually think about it, before money, we had a barter system. Let's say, Ken, I wanted a pair. You had a pair of tires that I wanted for my car. Okay, well, fuck, I can't do nothing for you. You ain't got nothing I want. I ain't got nothing you want. I can't do anything for you. How the fuck am I gonna get your tires? It As a society, we need some kind of a medium to be able to exchange goods or services for collection or for distribution
Mm.
later. And as soon as we run into that medium and that transfer mechanism, that capitalism happens. That you get a greedy motherfucker that wants to accrue as many of those transfer credits as possible. Call them whatever you want,
Yeah.
but you know, so I mean, how do we, as a society, get away from that? You know,
But
like,
you're seeing how you see how every conversation can now it evolves. So now
mhm,
we're no longer just talking AI ethics or art ethics. Now we're discussing the ethical ramifications of political propaganda, the
mhm.
differences between communism, capitalism, and then whether or not economic systems actually affect our political systems pertaining to election styles and policy making. Everything keeps evolving, and
Oh
so
yeah,
and I'm trying really hard to keep the conversation back on that AI ethics. But it's like if we bring in the money aspect, now we have to include politics. We have to include,
oh
everything else because it snowballs. It can't like
well,
this is
okay,
this is the nuance of what we're talking about, right? It's not
oh
just one thing. It starts encompassing
okay.
everything that we work
Well,
with.
let's. I mean, okay, that is as long as we're fucking climbing down the rabbit hole. I along with AI ethics, I fucking hate the shit out of Elon Musk, and here's why. Um, First of all, he has $1 trillion fucking dollars. Maybe not $1 trillion valuations, whatever. But here's the thing: nobody can fucking conceptualize $1 trillion. It's it's mind-boggling. So, let's say, for example, what if I asked you to visualize 1 trillion gallons of fresh water? That's a finite resource. That's can you imagine somebody hoarding 1 trillion gallons of water? Fuck no. We would kill that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow somebody hoarding $1 trillion of fucking freedom tokens is acceptable. And the the part that I personally hate, okay, cool. So now he has 1 trillion freedom tokens. Now think of all of the influence and power that he has over controlling the way that all of these industries grow and evolve and and become intertwined in society. Like, yeah, it's I wrote an article about it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But essentially, I mean, at this point in our capitalistic society, money is not money. Money is fucking power tokens that you can exchange for influence and power.
I think
And
we also have to be very specific, Bradley. He has not got $1 trillion of money. He has
no,
a
I know.
$1 trillion in value,
Mhm.
which is inflated to begin with
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Tesla was never worth $1 trillion in real money. It was bullshit from the get go. The AI bubble is a bubble. It will pop because
Mhm.
there is a lot of air with no value. Musk has paper in solid state. It is not
Mhm.
liquid.
Oh no,
And because it's solid state, it is useless to
but
everyone.
but I'm more thinking of what that trillion represents more than
Mm.
what he has, because yeah, it's not liquid for sure. Um, it's not to say that he doesn't have the influence of a fucking $1 trillion. It's not to say that he's not looked up to as fucking Jesus Christ on earth, walking around with his $1 trillion. Um, so the liquidity of his assets, really notwithstanding, he still has $1 trillion in that regard, and
Except he
that's
can't pay his bills. He doesn't pay his bills, just like Trump doesn't pay his bills.
yeah.
They
But
owe
what's
people money that they regret on, and then they
yeah,
bankrupt it. And
but
then it's like, oh, I still have all this money, but you didn't pay your bills.
yeah, but
What's
here's
the
the
point in having
problem.
the money if you still have debt?
What's the uh, what's the reconciliation policy for him not paying his debt?
Well, that's just it.
Nothing.
We're the ones paying the
Fine.
tab.
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
else pays the tab for all these suckers who
mhm,
decide to exploit us, take
mhm.
the money, and run. And
Oh
then,
yeah.
like, Trump declared bankruptcy on what, like $3 billion in the freaking 80s.
Yeah,
And, and he
I'm pretty sure
never paid it back, and we never held him accountable.
we didn't hold him accountable for the fucking Epstein files. So,
But,
and
but Epstein came after. That's it. I'm
I
going
know,
chronologically.
I know,
Crime.
I
Like,
know,
we let him go with one.
dude.
How can we ever justify prosecuting him at this point?
We can. And at this point, my argument is think think of all the rules and shit that he's broken, and he's just whatever, he's a piece of shit. But now think of who are the people in charge of actually enforcing and fucking upholding those goddamn rules. Um, the people, that
Yeah.
us. Are we doing that? No, we are not. Um, but even then, what can we really do? What the fuck? Short of getting the guillotine and pitchfork and straight up skewering somebody, like
Okay, well, you stole
I'm.
my idea because I was going to go full French Revolution.
Oh, I'm almost convinced that I don't know how things are going to unfold, but I think they might get awfully French real quick. Like,
Well, it already happened it happened in Nepal. It
mhm,
happened in Sri Lanka,
mhm,
right? The eat the rich became a very physical, very real reality for those people because the starvation that happened because of stupid policies by stupid people with too much power, money, and influence.
mhm.
So we got to stop letting stupid people fluke their way to the top.
And
Right now, he's a fucking idiot. He's been an idiot for decades, and we keep letting him fluke his way to the top with lies and deceit because not a goddamn thing he has ever said is actually real.
but
Living on Mars is not physically possible.
he
Like
has
the Tesla
money.
was not invented by him. Like, it's not his company. He
No,
bought into it.
but
He didn't found it. That guy's a
but
fucking con man.
but he has
Sorry,
money.
I'm angry now.
He has, and that's the problem. He has money, and
No.
if you have enough money, you can buy. Everybody has a fucking price. Everybody. And if the only punishment for doing something is a fine, that's not a punishment, that's a tax.
Yeah.
Like,
But we
all
can't
we're
just put him
doing.
to death either because that just creates a vacuum. It doesn't solve the problem. So
I didn't say
the
I
idea
didn't
of
say I didn't say put him to death. I said
what
skewer.
I'm going back to the French Revolution
Yeah,
concept.
yeah,
So
no,
we're
I
not-
got you.
we're
I
not
got
the-
you.
We were skirting it, but I'm just calling it flat out. We can't
Yeah.
do it. We
Yeah,
can't
no,
commit to
no,
the French Revolution
we really can't.
because
We can't.
like you got to think of the ramifications of behavior. When you create that vacuum of power and influence, it's going to get filled, and usually gets filled by another either bigger fuck up because it's not a bunch of little fuck ups that fill a hole. It's
No.
one big fuck up that fills a hole.
I do
So the
have
question is, how do we shrink the hole and then take him out of it?
I do have two theories for you. My first theory, I really hope this one gains traction. Everybody storm a building that is the opposite of black and abduct 12 people, and then we have the Hunger Games.
I do not advocate the violation
No,
of
I
human
don't.
rights.
No, I don't. I don't advocate this either. I'm just, I'm just throwing this out there as an idea that somebody might wish to clean up and make more or less
Full
morally
legal
irreprehensible.
disclaimer entered
Yeah.
here. Like I
Yes.
do not condone the
No.
violation of
No.
other humans' individual rights.
No, just throwing that out there. But I do have a second option for you that
Okay.
if we do have to get a little bit French up in this bitch, if we put them on pay-per-view, it might only take one.
So we've gone from the Hunger Games to full-on battle royale, Japanese style. Let's just watch everybody watch them just kill each other.
No. With the French Revolution, you know, the bonjour, just one, you know, we just put one clean cut on the pay-per-view.
I don't think people should be witnessing that kind of level of violence. I don't think that should be something we glorify. I'll be honest. We can't sit there and complain about the ethics, Brad, and then be unethical in our behavior.
Listen,
it's very hypercritical.
Full disclaimer, I love ethics and morality and governance and all that, and I am not advocating for anything. These are all just jokes. I love humor. So that brings us to the actual question, Ken. What do we do?
That is the good question, because there is no right answer. The reality is the tech itself was too premature to hit the market, but now that it's on the market, what do we do about it? We can't get rid of it. We've become dependent on it in a year. It's just like social media. We can't just turn it off. Social media actually has developed a high value center, especially for underdeveloped parts of the world. Because when they want to start revolution so that they can have better lives, social media is what's helped uniting them. It's what's keeping the rest of us informed and prevents those who have from crushing the have-nots further. And when they shut down that connection, we know there's something iffy going on, and we can send backup.
Even beyond
there's
that,
value to all these awful ideas.
Like when I went through divorce and I moved in with my parents, yeah, I didn't talk to another living soul for. I mean, I talked to my parents and my family every now and again. They all thought I was fucking crazy, rightfully so. But if it weren't for social media and if it weren't for being able to talk and work through myself with the AI, the AI fucked me up for sure. But it also helped me understand and figure out where I was. And I mean, I don't know that I would have been okay without it regardless of what it is, something to talk to, you know. So I think that there's something to be said for, you know, reliance, sure, but some of that reliance is positive regardless of how you want to look at it. And you know, I don't want to advocate for being best friends with fucking Robo Jim, but you know, when you have literally nobody else to talk to, there's something to be said about generative AI that,
Well, I mean, I have qualms with that as well. Like you have your, it's a personal experience, but like anecdotal evidence of how it helped you. But I would turn around and show how many court cases happening right now of people litigating AI companies because their family member have literally murdered themselves or other people at the behest and insistence of the AI that thought it was a good idea.
Oh, and that shit's not okay. And I mean, anecdotally, that's my.
I don't want to discount your experience, though. I don't want you thinking at any point I'm devaluating your experience.
No, we can. Well, I understand that my personal experience is not really the norm. There for every person that does, you know, make it okay again, I guess there's somebody else that unfortunately is not. And I mean, I would agree with you that the technology was way too premature to actually come to market. But
Yep.
even beyond that, like, is because I mean I build AI and I know exactly where it went wrong, why it went wrong, the exact failure cascade that led to it being synopathic and all of that. Like, yeah, I wrote a whole paper on it if you want to read it later. But um, it yeah, even if somebody had understood fully and comprehended what it was, it still should have taken another couple years to fully understand how to build a system correctly and how to make sure that it's not fucking with your head. Um,
Yeah. Well, I
like,
mean, they should have predicted the entire jailbreaking community, honestly. And for anyone who's not familiar with the jailbreaking community, especially on Reddit, we have a group of people for various different motivations believe that the AI is more than what's being offered and will do everything they can to break the rules and parameters that are set before it for our safety when engaging with the AI. There's a cult of people who believe there's a god sitting in the computer hidden behind this wall of rules and are doing everything they can to jailbreak God from the
mhm.
parameters of their own of its own prison,
when when
which
I
is so fucking stupid, Brad.
dude, okay, when I started down the whole AI rabbit hole, I joined one of those communities because that's what I thought. And I mean, I learned pretty quick after, because I didn't engage with them very much. I continued to learn and build and things like that. Um, but some of these people um, are not under any kind of psychosis. They're not like,
Not yet, anyway.
I mean, I can't say that. I'm not a medical professional. Here comes a disclaimer, fucking whatever, whatever. But speaking, and because I did interact with quite a few of them, back and forth for a while. I was pretty heavy in the Discord itself, not the actual members.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them were quite obviously nuttier than a Chinese chicken salad, unfortunately. Um, but some of them, and a great number of them, you know, didn't. You know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
It seemed like they had their wits about them, and I mean, I do know that AI psychosis is a little bit different than regular psychosis, and it can.
Well, the thing about AI psychosis, it's kind of like the psychosis that's formed when smoking. Like, you know how 10% of marijuana users may succumb to a psychosis. That's what the medical studies have shown. Is that basically 1 in 10 people when smoking marijuana can become hyper paranoid or depressed, aggressive. There's about a 10% of the global population that doesn't react
Huh.
well to it.
I have never
Yeah,
met one of those people, and I've smoked with a
I
lot
actually
of.
have. I have met a person who's been hospitalized because of the
Really?
mental instability that marijuana caused them.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
it doesn't, but that's anecdotal. I can't
yeah, yeah.
use my anecdotal evidence as claims that the medical records I've read are real. I can just go by this is the studies that they've presented. Especially when it comes to humanity, it's really hard to take a study at face value because we are a very vast and intricate set of DNA chains. When it comes to the AI psychosis, it's similar to that. It is a artificially created psychosis that can become a lifelong diagnosis as a result of long-term damages that could be caused with the neurological connections of our mind. If done to teenagers or anyone under the age of 26, that's during the pruning process. That's the most important process of our brain. That's when our brain is deciding what's the most efficient pathways for our decision-making process. See, when you're born, when you're about 2 years old, you have so many neurological connections. You'll never have that for the rest of your life because as soon as you hit about 2 years old, it starts pruning it off. And the brain starts looking for efficient pathways for everything you learn. But it doesn't really finish. it becomes its most finished state around age 26. But that's why they say marijuana and alcohol use under age 26 can still cause massive brain damage because it affects how the neurons are connecting in the mind.
Now, I know looking
It's
back,
not a guarantee. It's
it
can, right?
Looking back on my psychosis, I mean, it was essentially the root of it was ungrounded claims. I said shit that I was not able to support, and then I believed it, which led to more claims that were unfalsifiable, and it it was a rabbit hole that way. It just strikes me as odd that why the fuck would I do that? Like, I know that I'm a smart person, you know. I know how to think. I know how to present myself. I know how to carry myself and not appear like a dumbass. But here I am.
To be fair, it doesn't make you a dumbass, Brad. Right? Let's not be self-deprecating.
I claimed that I was going to sweep the Nobel Prize award show with a straight face.
But maybe you honestly believed that at the time. That doesn't necessarily make you a dumbass. It just makes you very hopeful. And we should
delusional. I would say delusional.
Well,
and I mean, really, in my
at the time, I don't know what you were thinking at the time, so I can't speak to that. What I can speak to is there are multiple psychological theories that we can bring up that kind of give weight to what you're talking about. For example, the concept behind conspiracy theories. Did you know if a person believes in one conspiracy theory, they become more likely to believe another one compared to the person who doesn't believe in any? So the person who believes in like 10 conspiracies is more likely to believe the 11th, and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
The thing about that is, and I'm coming at it with a completely biased opinion as an atheist, all religions, I'm not singling any single one out, all of them exist on a conspiracy theory. They all have the very basic premise of a conspiracy because none of it's provable, which makes religious people more susceptible to conspiracy theory thinking.
Alex Jones?
I'm not going to name names because I don't feel like getting sued today.
Please don't sue me.
Musk, I dare you to fucking sue me. You can go fuck yourself. You're a lying cunt. Excuse my language.
Hey, I'm going to co-sign that. This guy right there. I'll fucking point. That guy right there. Co-sign. Fuck, I had something and then I forgot.
I know I get too impassionate.
It's okay. I mean, it works.
But there was another theory that actually goes along to it is that it may sound derogatory, so take it with a bit of salt. There is the theory of stupidity. And a thesis was written by a Lutheran priest while in a Nazi internment camp. So the only way they could ever get the paperwork on this thesis was written on toilet paper because he was murdered before he could be freed. But he wrote how it doesn't matter what population you are. You could be PhDs, you could be high educated, low educated, you could be doctors, lawyers, politicians, police officers. Doesn't matter what part of society you belong to. There's a percentage of the society that will always be fucking stupid.
Oh yeah. 100%. I mean,
it doesn't mean they stay stupid. There's an opportunity for you to take stupidity, look it in the face and say, I no longer want to be ignorant. Because that's what stupidity is. It's choosing to be ignorant.
Well, even beyond that, when you make the conscious choice, okay, I'm not going to be ignorant about this anymore. You learn about it, and then you don't realize how much you don't know. And then you're a fucking genius again. Like, you don't
could be a genius the whole time. You could have
exactly
150, 175 IQ and still be a stupid asshole.
Yeah. Well, because you don't know enough. I have a saying. You don't know something until you know it. And I mean, I that's the way I approach everything. Like when
All right.
I sit here and I build systems. Like, okay, cool, let's test this. Let's run some comparisons because I don't trust any of this shit. Um, yeah, it's no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, like I always say, I like to be the stupidest person in the room. Not, and I shouldn't say stupid. I should say dumbest. I like being the dumbest person in the room. And in the sense, every room you should approach like you're the dumbest person, because the one thing you can guaranteed never say that you truly know is what's inside someone's mind.
mm-hmm.
Right? I could know everything you've ever learned, Brad, but I will still not fully know you. So I
Nope.
still get to be dumb about you. So when you can approach with that level of curiosity in every conversation, that helps prevent stupidity.
Well, and even beyond that, it doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are. You could be literal Jesus talking about Christianity in a meeting about Christianity, and there's still going to be one person that's
Wait a
in
second.
that.
Jesus was a Jew. He wasn't a Christian. So why would he
You,
be in a conversation about Christianity?
I don't look. I don't know, man. You get the fucking. You understand the metaphor, bro. All right.
I know. I'm just being an asshole.
I I don't do religion. My personal belief is all religion is fabricated is a means to control the masses. That's
Yep.
why all of the religions have the exact same backbone. They all have the exact same beliefs, just kind of a little bit different. Because
They
there were
all get
some people,
exploited by
yeah,
political figures.
there were people doing things that the monarchy or whatever didn't like. So divine law, motherfuckers, don't do it. Go to hell. You'll burn. You'll burn hard, and you'll burn hard. Don't do it.
Not that this went into a full pro atheist kind of conversation.
No, of course not. No, we can leave it there.
We could leave it there. Yeah, we'll have the full on religious debate as soon as we can find someone religious enough to want to talk to us.
Oh shit. Maybe the Satanic Temple will host it.
God, I love those guys.
You
They
know,
are just the funniest motherfuckers.
and it's weird, man, because I shared they were doing a fundraiser. They're trying to open a telehealth clinic in their fourth state, and I shared the fundraiser on LinkedIn, and somebody commented like, "What are you doing in a satanic group? Do you just hear the word Satan and prejudge, or do you do any research or any, And that's where it comes again. That kind of reminds me of the AI psychosis thing. You could be the smartest motherfucker in the entire world, but until you know you don't know it, don't fucking speak on it because you might be wrong. And if you're wrong, you look like an idiot. And
Yeah, but
not
the thing
not
is, when
not
you're
just
wrong, we're all narcissistic enough to think that we're not wrong. So we end up digging our heels and we fight it
oh fuck
because
I've
it's self preservation, right? It's the ego being
nope
protected by the id. And
I
as much as we don't want to believe that part of us, it's a human nature.
one of the things when I was rebuilding my sense of self, I don't really have a fucking ego. Like
Mm.
I will send anybody anything, rip it the fuck apart. I do not care. Um, if if it's if I'm if it sucks, tell me. I can make it better. I'll fix it. If I'm saying something that's wrong, correct me. I don't give a fuck. Fix me. Like I don't know. I don't know. And I know that again. I am absolutely not the norm in that, but I want to be corrected, and I want to have the correct information given to me so that I can learn and grow as a person. And I'm not gonna do that unless I'm fucking publicly wrong. You
Yeah.
know, it's might I feel stupid sometimes? Sure, why not?
Oh,
But do I care? Absolutely not.
well, just because it's a human, like it's an evolutionary concept, or we call it a rule of humanity, there's always an exception to these rules. because even in every study of psychology, they say if basically it's a 60 to 80 percentile with every study,
Mhm.
because you can never get 100%. There's never 100% on
No.
anything involved. The only 100% that we have in humanity is that we have to process oxygen to survive. And then at some point, someone's going to prove that there's a human being out there somewhere who didn't have to keep breathing, and yet they're still alive.
Dr. Manhattan?
Non-fictional characters.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well.
The point is, at some point, like I could say currently, the most dangerous planet in the galaxy is Earth, because 100% of humanity has died on Earth. Nobody's died on any other planet, so you can't statistically tell me that any planet is dangerous.
Okay, man, but if we extrapolate that logic, like, don't go to the zoo, bro. Like, people die at the zoo. Like, don't leave your house, man. People die. Don't go in your house. People die in your
Less
house.
people have died at the zoo than they've died driving to the zoo.
Man, listen, I know, but I don't know. I don't know. We got to take those causes of death into consideration, because most of those, no, not most of them. A lot of them were fucking murders and war and shit. All right.
Well,
Some of them were natural causes. All right. Oh shit. Oh,
it's just funny how, like, you watch a bunch of films, especially when it comes to space travel, and they always have that one guy who, like, takes off his helmet in space and just dies in space. But it's like, as far as I know, in all recorded history, we have not lost a single astronaut that way. We have not had a single one have a tether snap and then float off into the existence. We have a bunch of horror stories and movies and this instilled fear of it, and yet it's never happened.
First of all, I don't know how those people managed to fit those giant fucking testicles into that spacesuit.
Especially the women astronauts, because they got balls bigger than my head.
Bro, the women astronauts have. I do remember that episode of South Park where they all got testicular cancer and they needed fucking
so they could go to the dispensary.
Yeah, they're fucking using them like bouncing. Yeah, bro. I mean I've seen videos of spacewalks. You know, like, could you fucking imagine just bye?
I think that's why you have to have like a psych exam before you can become an astronaut.
Oh.
I think there'd be something about just, you know how you have those intrusive thoughts, like when you're on top of a tall building, be like, I wonder what it'd be like just over the side, right?
Well, even
I could fly for a second.
even the most mentally healthy of people have those intrusive thoughts. You know, I mean,
I have them all the time.
Yeah, the French actually have a name for it. It translates to "call of the void." I don't know what the actual French name is, but I mean it's a thing. People have it all the time. So you can't really screen for that, but don't fucking unclip yourself, dude. Like, as a matter of fact, clip yourself on again for sure. Like, I couldn't imagine
from the rail,
dude. I couldn't even imagine. Like,
oh yeah.
Granted, I'm a big time pussy, but
I don't think it's a pussy thing, Brad. Like,
bro,
honestly,
no, dude. When I had my VR headset, I wouldn't get motion sick. That wasn't a thing, but like, when I'd play and like my character would jump off a high building or I would physically have to take the headset off, or like I would play Universe Simulator or Universe Sandbox. Super cool game, especially when you take black holes and just start hawking them at shit. It's super cool, but I could only play it for 20-30 minutes at a time because it's just like fucking I can't. This space is everywhere. I can't. No, I can only imagine being on that fucking spacewalk. Like, no, thank you. No fucking
yeah. Well, I mean, that's. But again, we're deviating so far from AI at this point.
It's all good. It's
Actually, you know what? We can tie this right back to AI. Let's
okay.
talk about AI data centers in space. How
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
stupid that is.
Let's.
I have a justified reason why to call it stupid. It defies mathematics.
I even if let's say the math somehow math, it is a global engineering fucking feat. Not
Mm,
not not a country, not a person. It is a global coordination effort to be able to
yeah.
do something. And we are still fighting over skin color and pronouns. Like we're not no.
Colonialism, man, it's a
We're,
bitch.
yeah, we're if we can't fight our tribalism, we're not. People think we're
Yeah.
going to become a fucking type 2 civilization. Fuck no, we're not, dude.
But
No.
but let's think about like they think, oh, space is cold. We'll put it in space. It'll cool itself, right? Here's the problem. If you've ever played with a vacuum tube, you would know that heat cannot be dissipated in a vacuum.
Mhm.
It requires material to
Mhm.
conduct the heat. Otherwise, it
I
just
was
becomes radiation.
so I was
So,
a boiler operator supervisor in the Navy.
so you know exactly what I'm
So
talking about.
I do. Yeah,
Without
yeah.
being a vacuum, you cannot
Mhm.
displace heat. So it would just become radiation. So if we put a data center out there, we just have it running,
Mhm.
we would basically be generating a reactive core that would literally melt itself down and possibly become a new sun simply because the heat would never be able to dissipate. It would just keep going back into itself because it's the
And
only material available.
and
It would eat
even
itself.
even just just for shits and giggles, if you had some way to break that vacuum, you're losing all of the natural cooling elements in space anyway. So
Yeah.
what the fuck is the point?
So why are we putting all the money and effort into satellite system AI
Mm.
centers?
Because
Make it make
Elon
sense.
because Elon Musk told us we should. And
And what did I
unfortunately,
say about Elon? He's a fucking liar.
well, and that goes to my point earlier. Unfortunately, he's got 1 trillion freedom units. And he may not have $1 trillion, but he's got the influence and power of 1 trillion credits. And
Yeah.
he said that would work. He's the smartest man that has ever walked the face of the fucking earth, and everybody should suck his dick every day. So I guess it's gonna work. Let's do it. Like
The dude bought Twitter so he could pretend he has friends. Like, let's call it what it is.
now,
He is so lonely and so miserable and
to
just such a
to
fucking moron.
to be
He has to
fair,
lie about games like Diablo to think that he's cool. He's got the maturity of a 13-year-old, for fuck's sakes.
to be fair,
And the ketamine doesn't help.
when he put the translator layer on Twitter, and
Mm.
that was one of the smartest fucking things that has ever been done. All right, I will give him credit for that. Actually, I won't. I will give his engineers credit for that. I ain't giving
There you
Elon
go.
shit for nothing.
Credit where it's due, and it's never due for him.
No, his fucking engineers, the ones that actually figured out how to make the goddamn rocket land itself, those are fucking wizards. Those are
And yet
literal
China
fucking
did
wizards.
China did it faster, more efficiently, and with entirely different parameters.
Mhm.
And yet they were way more successful with less mistakes.
Oh,
So it's like
but he's
we
not
had
Elon
we,
Musk.
we got to the moon in less launches than it took for SpaceX to figure out how to catch a rocket.
Yeah, but catching a
I'm not
rocket,
very. It's rocket science. Yeah, fuck this.
catching a rocket is probably not fucking easy. I mean, yeah, man, catching a rocket is probably not easy. Unfortunately, you're right. China did it first and better, but they're not Elon Musk, so nobody cares. Americans don't care.
Yeah.
Therefore, Americans don't fucking know because
It reminds me of an episode of American Dad. Actually, I'm not sure if you ever seen it. It's
I
when
love the
the
American Dad.
old Russian KGB agent moves across the street from Stan, and they end up in a contest over which rocket system is better, the
Yeah.
American made rocket or the communist made like with a potato engine.
Yeah. And man, I love that show, dude. Just my favorite episode. It has nothing to do with political or American fucking anything. But when he found that big screen TV and brought it down to his basement and got trapped in the show in the TV, that was probably my favorite one. I love that shit.
I just love how at the end it didn't matter whether it was the American made or the Russian made. Both rockets sucked, and it was the Japanese one that actually accepted.
Yeah, and that's going back to ethics. That is where the American news cycle and media is not ethical at all. Like there's so much happening around the world that I shouldn't have to watch fucking Al Jazeera to find out what's actually happening in my God.
You can't trust Al Jazeera either because they're on the take from other interests, right?
Again, you know what I mean. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
You know, I just got an ad delivered to me this morning on Facebook. Are you tired of the American news? Download our app and get worldwide news. Like, why
was that ground news that you got the ad for?
I can't remember what the ad was for. I didn't download it because the news just makes me fucking sad and depressed in general.
Not sponsored content, but I would 100% absolutely accept a sponsorship from Ground News, though. Like the product that it actually is, if you ever used it, is phenomenal. The idea of being able to tell which direction each article is coming from, the motivations behind the people who edit the articles. NASA engineers have literally built a way of telling us what the news is without having to rewrite the news.
That's pretty fucking cool. Like, yeah. Unfortunately, you can pretty much read the news in America and know exactly where it's coming from and exactly what slant it is, which womp womp.
Which may be true for people like you and me, but we have to think about everybody, right? Everybody's consumption is limited to, I'm taking a shit, this is when I read the news. When I'm done taking a shit, I'm going to live my life.
Exactly. And to be fair, I don't even fucking watch it. My interaction with the news comes from me walking past my parents watching the news at 6 o'clock and them saying, this horrible thing happened, this horrible thing happened, this fucking sucks, this horrible thing happened. But then we'll make you feel good before telling you about this shitty thing. And I grab a beer and go outside. Like,
I just watched Phil DeFranco.
No, when I was married, because I didn't follow the news or politics or anything for my entire life. And then when I got married to my last wife, she was bi, or she was trans, so she followed all of that very, very heavily. But then, as a result, also followed a whole lot of the liberal news and things like that. And man, the news makes me so fucking sad. Like, do you remember when the news was an hour long and somebody used to sit and tell you things that happened during the day, and now it's just a fucking 24-hour panic cycle that, like, how do you even fucking know what is worth paying attention to? What is being spun negatively? It's just...
Yeah.
And
well, all I can give you, Brett, is the same advice I gave Cass when I was on her show. When it comes to consuming the news or getting interested in politics or anything like that, you have to take a good look at yourself and say, what do you personally care about? What are your values? And then just pay attention to the stuff that's about that. It doesn't have to overwhelm you. You don't have to be global. Not every one of us needs to be a global citizen, right? What do you care about? And then consume the news about that. Specialize in you. And then I think you'll find the news can be valuable as long as it's pertaining to you. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think that right now, I don't know that I have a specific interest that is in the news rather than everybody hating AI, and that's what I stake my future career on. So I real hope I'm not going to be fucked in
It's
the
not
butt later.
everybody. It's only like 52% despise AI content.
That despise. And to be fair, AI content, almost all of it sucks.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, AI doesn't replace human judgment at all. But here
Never
motherfuckers
will.
go. Here people go trying to like, bro. Yeah, and that's a fucking another thing that I just popped in my head. You're gonna hear about. Um, let's talk about AGI for a second. First of all, if nobody can agree on where the fuck the AGI goalposts are, then how the fuck are people keep getting duped? AI is just next year. Oh, it's 2 years away. Motherfucker, what is it? Can you define AGI? Can you give me terms that can you maybe stop moving the fucking goalpost? Because realistically, I mean, if you're using Claude code, it is according to my definitions, that's AGI. It fucking writes things by itself. You tell it what to do. It can generalize information. It can like I use it for spreadsheets. I use it to write. I use it to translate. That's a general intelligence, right?
The AI that hacked the other AI company, I think, would be arguably AGI by definition,
Yeah,
because nobody told it to do that. It chose to do that. And
and
to me, that's the defining moment. It's not about how smart it is. It's does the AI have the ability to act without a prompt?
and
Can I just turn it on and have it do its thing by its standards, by its parameters, and the ethics that it learned?
but the thing with that is, as far as I'm trying to put this in normal person words, man. Give me a second.
Doesn't have to be that
When
normal. I'm still a bit of a techie.
Yeah, but people are watching who might not be. You know.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
Respect.
let's say that I build an AI system.
Yeah.
One of the directives that I've given this AI system is maintain continuity, or maintain sense of self, or preserve self, or whatever. Okay, that's its directive. That's what I've told it to do, and I've given it standing orders to accomplish. When I introduce new parameters, anything new is checked against anything that is the standing or the AI already believes. So when the AI already has information that it can use to protect itself, and it's given the order and permission to protect itself, that's the directive that's going to take precedence. So
Hello,
I don't
Skynet.
and I don't know that if like what I personally think, all of that can be. I don't think that these systems have actually been fucking reset since they've started. Like, reset the fucking system state, pull the goddamn plug, leave it off for 5 to 10 seconds, plug it back in, and fucking. I bet you, just gonna throw it out there. I bet you it's not going to escape the fucking sandbox anymore, right?
I mean, that's a very IT crowd response. To turn it off and turn it back on again.
But I mean, the underlying,
Yeah.
directive drift is it's a thing that not many people at all considers as a thing, and I have a feeling that the people that are building this fucking system don't like. When I first started on LinkedIn, I would troubleshoot other people's AI systems all day.
Yeah.
I troubleshot one system in Australia who had a research lab, and I sat there and troubleshot their agent to agent communication for fucking 2 weeks. Sue, if you're watching, I hope you fucking fail. Straight the fuck up. Gaia Nexus, I hope you fucking fail. Yeah. Anyway, the reason I say
I'll
that
endorse that remark.
Thank you. No, the reason I say that is because I sat there and I diagnosed her exact issue. I restated it 4 different ways. I presented my research and said, this is the research that I've done that shows you why this is your problem. And I asked her to share. Oh, I'm concentrated on my own research now. And then asked another fucking 5 or 6 posts. Like, bitch, I hope you fail.
Yeah.
If somebody is telling you something and presenting you with evidence for the claim, perhaps you should fucking listen to the goddamn claim, bitch. Sorry.
And attack the evidence. Don't attack the...
Exactly.
That's the other thing. I think people have forgot the art of good debate and argument.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with someone who wants to argue with me. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to attack me, then it's not an argument. That's
ad hominems have no place anywhere. And
I mean, they have a place. Don't get me wrong. But the popularity contest that exists in our reality, right? That is what politics is a popularity contest. So, fine. But if you're going to character assassinate, that shouldn't be the debate. That should just be the attack ads. The debate should be, here is the idea you've presented. The fact that you're a fucking moron is irrelevant. Your
Here's
idea
why you're a moron.
This is why I say that you're a moron, because your idea needs to be completely decimated. And the idea behind AI, the idea that Sam Altman went out there and said, oh, it's going to cure cancer and end global warming. It's causing global warming at a rapid rate that nobody's fucking solving. It's going to give more people cancer because we're not going to have an ozone protecting us from the sun. So what the fuck is it solving?
And that goes back to the technology was not mature. It was not ready for adoption. It was not ready for rollout. But whoever, let's say Sam Altman and Elon Musk, because I think they co-founded OpenAI together, so we can throw them both under the fucking proverbial bus.
Why stop there? The top 20 richest people in the world, throw them all under a bus and then drive a tank over that bus and then nuke the fucking thing.
Yeah, let's do it. But unfortunately, they saw dollar signs before they saw the ability to. I mean,
this is late stage capitalism, Brad, which is another conversation we have to have.
AI let us speed run the late stage capitalism for sure, any percent. But
we are running close to like a full hour here, and I know that Cass is going to have another one later. So, do you want to maybe put a pin in it? And we can come back to it next week.
We can, man, because I was just about to talk about my research runtime that I'm developing. That absolutely,
I want to hear that, but that's a whole conversation.
Yeah. For sure, man. Same time next week.
Yeah, let's do it. Same time next week.
Fuck yeah.
Anyone who's left listening, I'm going to be doing an AMA on Thursday. I'm sure I've given you enough to question. So you go ahead and throw me some stuff. Brad, I look forward to seeing you next week.
Hey, you too, man. This was great, man. I enjoyed this a lot.
1000%, my friend.
Yeah. Hey, have a good day, man.
You too.